Hey, my name is Danny and I'm going to show you how to control an LED from your iPhone. Let's start with the hardware. So the material used for that is the LED, a 200 ohm resistor, the Arduino Uno, the Ethernet shield, and of course the RG45 cable, which is the Ethernet cable, and the USB cable for the Arduino. And last but not least, your iPhone. Now we're gonna use also the wireless router you're using for your internet connection. So let's start with the connections. First of all, take the Ethernet shield and put it over the Arduino Uno and make sure all the pins are on each other. Now take the LED and we have to know which one is the longer leg and which is the shorter one. So we care for the shorter one. Take the shorter leg and connect it to any side of the resistor that we have. Now note that the resistor do not have any positive or negative, so both sides would be the same. But for the LED we have positive and the negative is the shorter leg. So this is what we are gonna get. Now take the one from the LED side and insert it in pin number 2. Make sure it is pin number 2, and the other side, which is the resistor side, should be connected to the ground, G and D, which is right after pin number 13. Connect the USB cable, and we're gonna do the same for the Ethernet cable, which will be from this side of the Arduino. Now as for the second side, just connect the USB cable into the computer, and the other side of the Ethernet cable would be connected to your wireless router, which the phone is connected to. Let's move now to the configuration part. So first of all, your iPhone should be connected to the wireless router. Go to your settings app, choose the Wi-Fi, and press on that little blue button so you'll get the IP address. So all what we need is the 10.0.0, and we're gonna use another number other than 15. That's all for the configuration part. This is the software part. Now first of all, let's download the IDE or the program that we're gonna use. Go into Safari or any of your browsers, type in www.arduino.cc and hit enter. So you'll get the home page of the Arduino. Go to the downloads section and now scroll a little bit down till you reach the downloads section. Now choose the appropriate operating system for you. As for me, I will go with Mac OS. I press on that and I wait it to download. Now this may take some time since it's 70 megabytes, but just wait and everything will be fine. Now let's install the IDE. Installing is very easy. All what you have to do is to press on that icon, double click, and the program will be ready. Just press on open and that's it. Here comes the programming part. I'm gonna open up the Arduino program from my Mac and I'll get an empty project. Now go to File, Save As, and save it as Ethernet LED and save it on your desktop. Okay. Now, since the Arduino is an open source, so you can find a lot of ready examples for us. So all what you have to do is to go to File, Examples. From the Examples menu, there's Ethernet and Web Server. There are a lot of free examples that you can modify and tweak to fit your needs. So I want you first of all to copy all of this and paste it into your Ethernet LED project. Now save it, and that's it. Now we're gonna modify a little bit on this ready template. So I'm gonna go and open my, save, don't forget to save. I'm gonna go and open my already done modifications, so you can compare them. And first of all, there's, let me scroll. Okay, so first of all, there's a line of code that has to be added, which is this one. Just add it. Now we have to assign an IP address for our Ethernet shield. Remember the one that I found on my iPhone's network, which is 10.0.0.15. You have to find yours as well and just change the last one to anything. So I'm gonna go with 10.0.0.25, and this would be the IP address. Now you have to add this one, which is setting the pin number 2 to output in the void setup. Now go to void loop, and here's the big difference. You have to just, I'm gonna show you, or select the whole part which needs to be modified or deleted, and you have to replace it with another part. So I don't want to explain what's going on this example, which is the Arduino part, because we only care for our Xcode or our iPhone part. So this part should be replaced by the one I'm gonna select, and you only have to pause this video and copy it on as slow as you want. So just copy this and replace it with this part, and you'll be done. Now let's start with the Xcode part. Go create a new project, a single view application, call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it the iLamp. So I'm gonna use storyboards and ARC. Press on next, place it on your desktop or wherever you want, and let's start with our programming. Now first of all, I like to start with the interface, so go to your storyboard and let's start with designing the interface. And of course the designing phase would be just dragging and dropping. First of all, I'm gonna go and change the, let's try this one. No, okay. So first of all, I'm gonna go and change the background of my application. I'm gonna use another color, which would be something like gray. Okay. Now we have to use a UI switch. So scroll down, choose the switch, drag it over, and that's it. Let's drag a label as well and call it LED, so the LED would be on or off. So one last thing for the interface would be the web view, UI web view. Drag one and it would be hidden, so make sure it is hidden on the attributes side, and we're not gonna use it, not gonna show it to the user. So I'm gonna use the assistant editor and go to my, let me just increase the font a little bit so you can see. So first of all, control drag and call it my web view. This is for the web view, and this is for the .h file. Now go to the .m file, drag the switch over, and of course this is for the switch pressed, so make sure it is switch pressed, and we have to implement this one. All what I have to do is to say that if the user switches this switch to on, I want to turn the LED on. If not, turn it off. So first of all, I'm gonna cast this switch, this sender, to UI switch. The switch equals to UI switch star sender. That would be casting it to UI switch so I can use its properties. And now this is for the if statement. If the sender or the switch dot is on, which returns a boolean of true or false. So if this is true and if the switch is now on, I want to turn on the LED. Now how can we do this? Simply type in the IP address for your LED, for your Arduino Ethernet shield, which is 10.0.0.25 that we have chosen. So I'm gonna do a simple URL request and SURL request and load it into my web view. So first of all, go and create the NSURL, call it URL with string as I have told you. We have to use 10.0.0.25 slash $1 means on and $2 means off, and that was all set within our Arduino program that we have already done. So if you have read it, you'll understand what we have done. So the $1 means turn the LED on and $2 off. So we're gonna create an NSURL request, which would be from the URL that we have created, and last my WebView load request rec, which is the request that we have created. So this would simply create or turn on the LED. Now the opposite should be done to turn off the LED, which is the else statement. If the user switches the switch to the off state, I'm gonna copy everything, paste it, and just change a little thing, which is $2 instead of $1, and this would be it. This would be everything that we need to type it. So I'm gonna just add some comments to make you remember what we have done. So it's just sending a URL with some extra things, and that would be everything. And this is the simplest part. So I'm gonna turn it off as the initial state of the switch. And if your Mac is connected to the same network, the same router, which is, or it's connected wirelessly, this should work on the simulator itself. So, because the simulator will be using the Mac's IP addresses, which are on the same network with the Arduino Ethernet. So I'm gonna test it on my simulator and it's working. You won't see this because I'm not recording it, but I'm gonna leave it to the real device. So let's try it out. I'm gonna turn it on, and here we go. So the LED is on, off, it is working. Where to go next? So we have just controlled a LED through our iPhones. So what? Let me show you this simple project that was created on real devices, and then the iPad app was created to control these real devices. So there's a lamp that you can turn it on and off, there's a fan, you can also through your iPad control or see the temperature, you can also turn on the TV or turn it off, and I call this iHouse. That's all for now, thank you for watching and bye bye.